so through legal means. He's gay, and the reason why he fled Venezuela is because he was terrified that the Venezuelan gangs in Venezuela were going to kill him because he's gay. So hold on, let me finish my point. Yeah.
It is pretty crazy the way she 180s. Like the whiplash. She's doing it on it. She doesn't know how to. It's a shame. Again, the grass is not always greener. For her, it's not going to be.
A gay person, I've never understood gay pride. Now, I'm not ashamed to be gay anymore. As I mentioned, I never understood that concept because it's like, what is there to be proud of? I didn't accomplish this. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of a best-selling book.
This is the conservative take to The View. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So yeah, you know, this show that's come out, her take, you know, we will continue to look at what's going on, especially with Anna Kasparian, who has completely left TYT. And you cannot tell me that Anna has not left TYT. And I'm going to show you why I say that. But in the meantime, we do have people who are, she's getting extreme backlash for this. People have talked about the production. Even PBD is getting extreme backlash because this does not look like a valuetainment production. Anyway, this is still the saga of, and like, I wonder how this is going to work. So when I want to know what's going to happen with the left, I usually go to leftist sources because, and by the way, again, these terms, I only use them because like they are, you know, like they're terms that people understand. So that's why I use them, but it's just all a bunch of propaganda, but whatever. Anyway, like, we're gonna get into it. I go to the Vanguard though, because one thing about them is that they definitely know a lot of what's going on, and that's what we're going to check out to see. Because I'm sorry, I just don't think that girl is going back to TYT. I simply don't. Let's go ahead and get into it. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Sorry about that long introduction. Let's go.
Exactly. You're actually touching on something that I think has been a growing problem with the Democrats' identity, because especially beginning in 2015, and Senator Chuck Schumer, House, Minority Leader, is on tape saying this during a Washington Post interview. They intentionally were moving away from working class voters and just kind of doubling down on their culture war identity.
Okay. Wow. So this makes, Anna look, again, like the Vanguard did say before, it makes her look really smart, this show. But let's see a little bit more of their take on this channel. But I want to see also, too, if they go into, sorry, guys, it's kind of, we're doing this live. Let's just kind of, I want to see if they go into what is going on in TYT, but and I will also get into it, too.
This country great. We need to have avenues in which they can do that legally.
That doesn't really exist right now.
It doesn't.
There is no middle
That doesn't
ground.
address the fact that you cannot have these judges who are placed in positions of power acting like these vigilante warriors.
This woman was a liberal 8 months ago, by the way. So what she's doing is she's just trying to virtue signal like crazy to make sure that she gets her bread from PPD. Like, don't worry, Patrick. I can be the most deranged person. I can deliver the most insane Republican talking points. I'm a true believer. Like, it seems like she's almost still auditioning for somebody who's not in the room to prove that she's the most deranged conservative on the entire panel.
It's just so inappropriate. And Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for you here, though, for just a moment, because I happen to agree with all of you regarding this particular incident. However, I could point to several others. For example, a Trump-appointed judge, okay, and her name was, I believe it was like Stephanie Garrett. Does this ring a bell? She had a kid who was 20.
She's relying on them chat GPT notes.
Years old, who crossed the border as an unaccompanied minor, forgive me. And they struck a deal with DHS where they said, listen, these kids are now applying for asylum. You can't deport any of them right now until their asylum case can be adjudicated.
Right.
The kid is not a gang member. Right. He was arrested once for drugs, not dealing drugs, doing drugs. And out of the country he goes. And a Trump-appointed judge was like, no, bring him back. Then you've got the gay makeup artist who I briefly.
And by the way, I actually wanted to say real quick, not to give too much credit to Jillian, but I do think she's the most comfortable on this panel. And actually, the defense she's about to make of this guy and the fact that we should bring him back, I actually think she kind of outshines Anna as the person that's offering a quote unquote progressive or left wing perspective on this. As you're about to see in the next couple minutes, she does a decent job here. I think better than Anna did.
Actually, he's kind of right as far as like the progressive take on it. He's right with that because, you know, she is kind of breaking down the case and. Look, she gets on my nerves. I'm gonna keep it very real, which she kind of does because it's like I feel like all these people are fake, bro. Like I do. I don't care. Like you know what I mean. Like at the end, but shout out to them. I always want to make sure to always say shout out to them and how to get their bag. Do what you need to do. I am not here to tell you, you know, you're wrong or whatever. Like as far as like how you're getting your bag, you do what you feel like you need to do. It is not up to me to tell somebody how to get their bag. Okay. With that said, you know, and I hope this show soars to the highest mountains. I do. I don't wish any bad on anybody, but I just feel like a lot of these people are so fake, bro. Like, because there's a lot of discussions that they won't ever have. And so it's like you go from one show to another where everybody literally sounds the same. Literally, this is a plague to me. So that's why I'm just kind of like, whatever. But she is trying to become prepared with her notes and stuff. And she actually might be a problem for Anna. Anna, I don't know what made Anna really go into this show because Anna wants the attention. But let's listen to Jillian Michaels apparently cook where Anna's supposed to be cooking.
And this one, guys, I'm with you on 99% of this. But this is where Trump goes off the rails.
I agree with you on that.
All right. There's a kid. His name is Christian. He's a gay Venezuelan makeup artist, a theater enthusiast, comes over from, as mentioned, Venezuela, all right? And he gets scooped up by ICE because he has 2 tattoos that actually mean mother and father.
Correct, yeah.
But they misinterpret them as gang tattoos. He applied for asylum upon entering the country. They deport him to El Salvador, that's not his country, to a prison. He's not a criminal. Then it's ordered, bring him back.
Right.
And not just any person, the mega person.
Do it. And this is where I would say to anybody who's 100% for this mass deportation, what about that? What?
Also, it's crazy. To Gavin's point, she is the most comfortable, but she also just shreds Anna's point to her face. Anna tries to act like it's Trump derangement that's preventing liberals from seeing what's actually just about this. And she's like, no, actually, it's anybody with regular eyes sees that this is a problem and this is huge overreach. And then Anna tries to backpedal and agree with her and pretend she was on the same page all along. It's crazy. And to supplement even more what you were saying about how basically everybody is lackluster on the panel besides Jillian, you can tell she was on The Biggest Loser. You could tell that she's had to just kind of create that moment of chemistry, because what I think is really awkward for Anna and maybe Lindy and this other woman is that they're really familiar with how their show goes, but they don't have a lot of experience doing it in different environments. And anybody who's been in media, anybody who's worked in production will tell you, if you get really used to your home set, if you get really used to only being able to do it in your one environment, it's hard to come alive. It's hard to turn it on. It's hard to feel comfortable when you're doing that. And oh yeah, dude, I mean, all she did was humiliate people who struggled with their weight in a way that was totally disgusting and very much of the time. But I just mean, you learn how to just be comfortable in front of a camera. Nobody's watching you really. Nobody's doing anything, but you have to make sure that you're creating content organically like that. And she seems to understand the assignment, that there needs to be a little bit better pacing. There needs to be a little bit more personality to what's going on, because everybody else just seems unlikable.
Yeah, they kind of got it again. But so she's going to be the one who shines. Anna's going to be very mad about this. We're going to skip over to Anna. By the way, The Biggest Loser, I did used to watch that. No, we do not feel sorry for them people. That was my generation, okay? We don't feel bad. These people got to get all this attention and credit. You know, I'm pretty sure they went home with parting gifts and whatever else. You know what I mean? For being big. And... you know, and like they were able to make something out of it and make personalities out of it at the time. So like we're not gonna, like, you know what I mean? But these kids are younger than me, so they didn't grow up during my, like, I'm sure they were like alive during my time, but no. Okay, so but let's just, you know, get another little segment of what's going on here, because I just feel like Anna's really gonna be mad, you know?
This is not a gangbanger, guys.
Through legal means, okay? Applied for asylum, did so through legal means. He's gay, and the reason why he fled Venezuela is because he was terrified that the Venezuelan gangs in Venezuela were going to kill him because he's gay. So hold on, let me finish my point. He had a legitimate asylum claim. And if you want to talk about like, oh, well, mistakes were made, we're talking about a guy who was sent to an El Salvadorian prison where he's probably being abused in all sorts of ways.
You just defended the same agents who came and took that guy with no trial, with no evidence, with no due process. You just defended those agents coming to abduct somebody else, Anna. Literally, we're 10 minutes into the broadcast and you have done a complete 180. You're like, oh, I understand. There's bound to be some mistakes. I still support it, though, but I'm just going to be aghast at the problems that occur. I'm not going to tell anybody to stop. I'm not going to be like, you know what? Maybe that judge had something going when she said, this is obviously illegal. I don't want to participate in it. I would rather give this guy due process, even though he's accused of battery and assault and a minor offense, okay? A misdemeanor offense.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy the way she 180s. Like the whiplash. She's doing it on it. She doesn't know how to. It's a shame. Again, the grass is not always greener. For her, it's not going to be. Jillian Michaels, I think, is actually going to shine in this show where Anna isn't. We'll take a look at the next episode for the next video. But I don't think that Anna's going to shine the way she wanted to, because she's on a panel with like 4 or 5 different, because there's another woman I think that pops up in the next episode, that she's on a panel with all these women. Now she has to compete for attention. It's easier, and she's going to find out that it's easy because this means something to her. And when I say means something to her, she's not just doing it like, all right, yeah, next step, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like really, Jillian Michaels really has me like rooting for her here all of a sudden. I feel like with her, she's like, yo, look, I just get in where I fit in and I do what I got to do and I just be me and I don't care. All right? I think maybe that's just how she's always been. Okay. With Anna, it's like she wants to be this like Candace Owens, and yes, I always go with the Daily Wire, like a Brett Cooper. She wants that so bad. She literally just put herself on a panel with 5 other women to compete with. And I keep saying 5 because I think the next episode is another woman who pops up, which is a lot to me, by the way. And she wants to, she's like, I'm Anna Kasparian, because technically out of all of these names here, she would be the bigger name. Even though Jillian Michaels been out for a while, Jillian Michaels is simply, she's like the, Jillian Michaels she was the fitness woman, right? So politics is like something still kind of new for her, but she's still doing what she needs to do. I don't think Anna expected this kind of competition, and it's going to piss her off. I just want to see something real quick. I'm going to go with you guys to look at TYT, because I need you to understand that Anna is like seriously not on the show. Like, I want to know like how, like what happened as far as, okay, let me not say that, because she's not on the show. Like, I'm telling you, this is old, okay? Like, this is the fact that even Trump thinks, because TYT does this, they repeat episodes. By the way, the fact that they only have 7.6 views in the last 4 hours, that's crazy, because TYT really should have more views than that. This is old too, about Sam Harris. They always repeat stuff. And I noticed that they're repeating things that have Anna on it, because they're going to get more, like, yo, their numbers are, bro, what? Dog. Do you see these numbers? Bro. Dang. Like, that's crazy. They had one that was good here. Like, I manage channels that get way more views than this on a regular. I mean, somebody would say, well, your channel doesn't. I know. It's like, I'm still trying to figure y'all out. Algorithm. But this is bananas.
This shows spitting the truth about what's been going on in regard to Israel's persecution and land theft of Palestinians. Now, Harris, an ardent Israel defender.
I keep trying to get people when their eyes are like looking at us, but it just never works. There we go. So yeah, like I said, Anna, here she's by herself. Cenk used to act a fool. Anna will kind of balance that out. So I think people think that the grass is greener on the other side. And I think Anna's going to find out very soon that it's really not. But also the damage is being done at TYT. So this is just a lot. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.